Alright, what's up everyone? It's late Saturday night, pretty much 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. I don't have a date, so I decided that I was going to do some repairs on my really old MacBook and share it with everyone. This is my MacBook right behind me right here. As you can tell, this is from mid-2007. So this is pretty old. I decided to do some upgrades on it. So far, as you can tell, I've removed the Superdrive here and put in a terabyte hard drive. 2.5 form factor, fits really nicely and works really well. I actually, this is my second time disassembling my MacBook. I tested it earlier and this hard drive works really well. I'm really excited about it that I have a lot of extra room. My computer runs cooler and it's a little bit lighter. You know, not quite a MacBook Air, but it's a little bit lighter. But what really annoyed me was the fan was still making a grinding noise. At some points it sounded like a Harley Davidson, and I thought that I would be able to let it go, but unfortunately it would just drive me crazy. So I decided that I was going to at least clean the fan out. I'm still thinking about replacing it, but I thought, you know what, since I have to wait a few more days for a part, I was going to clean it out myself and see how that goes. Now, I'm not really a computer builder or anything like that. I did build my own desktop. I do tinker with computers a little bit, but by no means am I an expert. I'm very, very novice. But I thought that I would share that with you in case there's some others of you out there who are thinking about tinkering with your own computer because this is too old. Not even the Mac store said that they would service this computer after another month. So figured it's all upon me to get things done. Anyway, without further ado, just a few tips. Right behind me you can see this says MacBook 13-inch repair fan removal. So I'm not trying to go over all the details of removing the fan from the computer. I just want to provide you with a few tips for some newbies out there who might overlook a few things or who might be intimidated by what is kind of a detailed process. It's actually rated as difficult by iFixit, a kind of do-it-yourself website for computers. Anyway, just a few things here. Always have a static wrist strap, you know, to avoid any kind of static that can ruin your computer. I always wear this. I keep it grounded, obviously, with this clip, and this, of course, attaches to my wrist to keep things grounded. Yeah, it's a few dollars, but it's definitely worth it because it can save your computer. I also have a Torx wrench set. This is very inexpensive. I mean, this is most likely made in China. This is not Stanley material tools here, but it does the trick. Very, very cheap. Now this is something that some of the more advanced people may laugh at, but this is what's really helped me out. In taking apart the fan, at least with this this type of MacBook, it is not a unibody, so there are a lot of different screws in here, a lot of intricate places where wires are hidden. I wrote a very rough diagram. As you might be able to tell, this says fan. So this is where the fan is. This is where all the little screws are. They're taped with Scotch tape. I leave it on my desk, so when it's time to reassemble this fan, I have all the screws and I know where they go. I also created little slips of paper with labels on it. For example, this says MacBook spine. This is where, these are the screws that go on the back of the MacBook here, on the spine. So I know exactly where they go, and I've also kind of created a little diagram. I don't know if you could tell, you probably can't, but they're different sizes, and I created a little diagram here with the different sizes. So everything goes exactly in the right place from where I took it from. I also have this little lamp. Here's another. Let me just show you one more example. This says near battery cover. Really basic, nothing too detailed. It just says where the screws go when I go back. This goes inside the battery cover near where the battery connects when I screw it in. I was going to show you my headlamp. This can be very handy. It's got a little angle. This one's made by Energizer, and it's got like little red lights, but it can angle like this. So when you're working, it adds extra light. You can see in some of those hard to see places when you're taking wires out and when you're taking screws out. Now you can see I have my fan apart. Just a few more tools I may not have mentioned before. Here's a toothbrush that you could tell from all how black it is that there's a lot of dust and dirt that got in the fan. Here's the disassembled fan right here. I also have tweezers, which help me with a lot of the little screws so that they didn't get lost. Unfortunately, this screwdriver is not really magnetized, or at least the magnetism on it is very weak. So the tweezers really helped out a lot. You can see right here, right above the fan, there's a very, very basic sketch of the fan and how to put it back together, where the screws went. So these are just little diagrams that help. Hopefully, after I buy some thermal paste, which I should have bought already, I'll reassemble the fan. I'll clean out this well, the fan well right here, and hopefully I won't hear that really loud noise anymore. Okay, now for the moment of truth. About 4 hours later. It shouldn't take that long, but I was distracted by watching movies and talking on the phone. Not advisable, but hey, and I had to mix it up a little bit. We're going to turn on the computer, see what happens here. Alright, so far so good. See the apple coming up. The little spinning wheel. It's a good sign. Blue screen. Sounds pretty good. And I don't hear the fan. That's also a good sign. Although I didn't hear the Apple startup. That's kind of strange. But it looks like my audio is working. So I'm not sure what happened there. But again, I don't hear the fan. Now I'm going to go to this application called SMC Fan Control. I'm going to try to boost the speed of the fan here and see. Oh yeah, it's on a higher RPM. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's so much quieter than it was. Before it sounded like it was rattling, like I said, a Harley-Davidson motorcycle at some points. And now that the fan is on a really high setting, I put it on 5,678 RPMs, and it's this quiet. That makes me happy. I could boost it up to the highest at 6,200 RPMs. We'll save that. We can hear the fan increasing sound a little bit, but it's still like a whisper. I'm very happy right now. Okay, I'm going to actually shut this down then, so the computer will take over its own control. And that's it. I'm sorry for the people who really wanted details on how I fixed this up, but this was just a few tips. And like I said, a lot of it, you just have to have the right tools around you, a clean space, and label everything. That's the important thing. I think that's about it. I just wanted to provide a few tips. I hope this helps for some of you people out there who might be a little bit intimidated, a little bit trepidatious about working on your own MacBook because you'll lose screws or it'll be too daunting. When I looked at this diagram, the MacBook 13-inch repair fan removal, looked at it and said, I don't think I'll be able to do it. But I think when you're organized and you have the right tools around you, it's very possible. Another good idea is always have a big open workspace in which to work in so you don't lose any parts. Obviously it's preferable to make sure that your desk is level so no screws roll off. Just a few things that might help you out. I hope it helps you guys out there, and good luck with your computing and your do-it-yourself repairs.